Senator, I was going to say Senator Cormann.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and I'm very keen to participate in the debate on the motion moved by Senator Carr.
Just a moment, Senator. Look, well, he was the first one up, but he also is the deputy leader. It is a motion instigated by yourself, Senator Carr. There's ample opportunity for others on your side to contribute to the debate. I've gone to Senator Cormann on that basis, but your side will not be overlooked. There'll be plenty of opportunity to speak. Senator Cormann.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I won't hold the Senate up for long, but I am very keen to participate in this debate on a motion initiated by Senator Carr. And I mean, the chutzpah for a Labor senator to complain about the delay in providing answers to questions at the Senate Estimates Committee. In particular, a Labor senator who was a senior cabinet minister in the Gillard and Rudd Labor governments. Now, to have what's happening here?
Just order, Senator Wong. That's out of order. I explained to Senator Carr a moment ago. You weren't in the chamber when I gave an explanation. Well, anyway, Senator Cormann has the call. There's ample opportunity for you to have the call. And also, Senator Wong, for your benefit, as you're walking over here, I indicated to Senator Carr that the motion's been moved from the Labor side, and there's ample opportunity for senators to contribute to the debate. Senator Cormann, you have the call.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Here we see again the Labor Party dysfunction at work, right? I mean, like here we are, two senior shadow ministers at each other's throats. That is what we remember from the Rudd-Gillard Labor government years. We've got a shadow cabinet minister initiating the debate. Here we go. Like here we've got Senator Wong complaining about the fact that I'm participating in the debate on a motion that you initiated. The Labor Party initiated the debate on the motion. Look at this. Look at this.
Order. Pause the clock. I won't continue with the debate if we're going to have this level of shouting.
Well, it's a filibuster.
Well, order. Order. Order.
You're going to call the government on
order. No, I will not be, and I don't want you questioning. Senator Wong. Senator Wong. There is ample opportunity for anyone who wants to participate in the debate. Senator Cormann, you have the call.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think that Senator Wong is again demonstrating why Labor is not fit to hold office in Australia in government. I mean, this is the level of dysfunction on the Labor side. We've got a shadow cabinet minister in Senator Carr initiating a debate, complaining about the fact that a minister has not answered questions in a timely manner. Questions on notice, and by me participating in that debate, somehow I'm doing something wrong. Well, that is actually the way the Parliament works. The way the Parliament works is if a senator initiates a motion, initiates a debate, which under our standing orders is an open-ended debate, I'm entitled to participate in that debate. And as I was saying, the chutzpah for a Labor senator who was a senior minister in the Rudd and Gillard Labor governments, to complain about the lack of timeliness of answers to questions taken on notice is breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. This government has a strong and proud record of answering questions, of answering them properly, of providing information, of making sure that we follow the procedures of the Senate when, for very good public interest reasons, certain information is not able to be put into the public domain. I mean, I remember, if I can contrast our track record of providing timely and high-quality answers to questions by Labor senators with that of the previous government. I used to sit on that side, Mr. President, as you might recall. I used to sit on that side pursuing the then Labor government over the modelling that they had initiated through Treasury and various other agencies of government into their carbon pollution reduction scheme and subsequently into their carbon tax. I'm waiting to this day to get answers to those questions. I'm waiting to this day to get answers to those questions. We put orders for the production of documents on the table. We passed them through the Senate. We put questions on notice in Senate estimates. We set up Senate inquiries. asking questions in the fine hope that we might be able to get an answer somewhere along the way. And as I say, I'm still answering. I'm still waiting. Now, Senator Carr, one of the questions that Senator Carr put on notice, I'm just reading here, actually relates to measuring and modelling. This is this is what we're talking about. This is where he's holding up the Senate. He's complaining about a minister not providing quick enough answers to this question. I'm quoting now from Hansard. This is Senator Carr. Can I just follow up on a question on notice? You have indicated several times, Dr. Marshall, that Australia spends 75% or the US spends 25% on its measuring and modelling. How much does Australia spend as distinct from the CSIRO, and what proportion of Australia's contribution to the measurement of climate change does the CSIRO undertake? Can you provide that on notice? Dr. Marshall said, it is probably better if we take that on notice. We have been searching for those numbers and they are complicated. They are complicated. That is what he was told on the spot during the Senate estimates hearing. And further, Senator Kim Carr then said, you have used the figure several times. I would be very surprised as to what extent. Let me write. I look forward to your analysis of the comparison that Australia spends, and by that I mean the whole country and then a subset of that as a CSIRO contribution. Now, here we've got Dr. Marshall explaining right up front that this is not easy information to identify, but of course he uses best endeavours. He says on the spot that it's not an easy piece of information to put together, that it is complicated, but he will do his best, and of course as quickly as possible that information will be provided. Compare and contrast that with the attempts of the then opposition, year in and year out, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, when we were asking the then Gillard and Rudd Labor governments to share with the Senate the modelling information underpinning their climate change policies, the modelling information which they had at their fingertips, because they had considered it when making relevant decisions, but which they were keeping secret from the Australian people, which they were deliberately keeping secret from the Australian people, because they knew that if it had become public, the public would have been able to see even sooner that what Labor was proposing in government was not effective policy on climate change, that all it would do was push up the cost of living, push up the cost of doing business, cost jobs, cost investment, without doing anything to help reduce global greenhouse gas emissions. And that is why Labor, in absolute desperation in government, never ever answered that question. So here we've got a situation where many, many questions were taken on notice by the CSIRO and others during Senate estimates, and in particular here, of course, the motion that we're talking about is the motion by Labor Senator Kim Carr, where he's complaining that answers to certain questions are 19 days overdue. 19 days overdue. I wish I had received answers to my questions 19 days after the deadline. That would have been a great improvement on what was our experience for our period in opposition. Now, Senator Carr also repeated a range of inaccurate assertions in relation to the government's approach to the CSIRO. I'd like to point out, in the context of this debate, to directly respond to the comments that Senator Carr made during his contribution, that this government is providing a record $3.1 billion of funding in the 2015-16 budget forward estimates to the CSIRO. The CSIRO has announced that there will be some realignment of activity within their climate change division, so they will now focus on climate mitigation and abatement. That is, on tackling the problem. So Labor was pursuing this ideological agenda of taxing more because they wanted to spend more, and they wanted to dress that up, that taxing more, they wanted to dress that up as effective action on climate change. The truth was there was just good old-fashioned Labor socialism. It was taxing more to spend more, and even then, because the taxes weren't enough, they were spending more than they were able to afford, and that is, of course, why Labor left a track record of debt and deficit as far as the eye can see. Advice from the CSIRO, it's important to note, is that there will be no net job losses overall across the CSIRO agency, and that all staff entitlements will be fulfilled. Contrast that with what Senator Carr said during estimates on the 3rd of June 2008 in relation to Labor cutting the CSIRO budget, when he said The government has made the budgetary decision. The implementation issues are matters for the CSIRO and the board. The CSIRO board has to sign off on these decisions, i.e., that is, translate that, nothing to do with me, is what Senator Carr said when he was asked questions about the impact on the CSIRO of budget cuts by the Labor government that he was a part of. Nothing to do with me, nothing to see here. That's all a matter for them. Well, we are taking responsibility and we are being accountable. The truth